I found out my wife had been lying to me for 12 years on the same night I planned to surprise her with an anniversary dinner. I walked into our bedroom and saw her sitting on the floor, knees pulled to her chest, staring at a photo she thought I'd never see. A photo of her holding a little girl who looked too much like her to deny. And when she realized I was standing there, she didn't speak. She didn't cry. She just whispered, "I hoped you'd never find out." That was the moment everything I thought I knew about my life cracked open, because that little girl wasn't some stranger's kid. She was my wife's secret daughter. And the reason she hid her wasn't just painful. It was dangerous. It was the kind of truth that destroys families. People always think betrayal starts with dramatic moments. The lipstick on a collar, the anonymous message, the overheard phone call. But for me, it started with silence. A silence so deep it followed me through the next days like a shadow I couldn't outrun. My wife, Anna, avoided me. She moved around the house like a ghost, speaking only when necessary, and even then her voice trembled. I couldn't bring myself to confront her again. I waited, stupidly hoping she would open up on her own, that the woman I thought I married would tell me the truth. But every hour she didn't explain pushed me closer to something I never thought I'd do: dig into her past myself. It began with her phone. I hated myself for it, but I waited until she showered and opened her messages. Nothing. No recent conversations. Her call history was wiped clean. She had deleted everything. That was the first time I felt fear. A cold, real fear that maybe the man she had been texting late at night, the one she said was just a co-worker with a crisis, was somehow connected to this little girl in the photo. But it wasn't until I went further, deeper into her hidden folders, that I found a set of emails saved under a name I didn't recognize. Clara M. And every email started the same way. "I'm sorry, I can't come. It's too risky." Risky. That word kept repeating itself as I scrolled through messages going back years. Promises to visit, apologies, fear, and one line that made my stomach twist. He can't know about her. I didn't know whether he meant me or someone else. But when I saw the attached documents, birth certificates, legal letters, threats from someone named Marcus, I realized the secret wasn't about infidelity. It was about protection. Or at least that's what Anna believed she was doing. That night I confronted her again, this time more gently, and she finally broke. She told me she'd had a daughter at 19. The father was abusive, violent, someone who had once threatened to kill her if she ever tried to leave him. She ran away before the baby was born. For years she kept moving, terrified he'd find her. When she met me, she thought she could build a new life. She wanted to tell me, she said. But then we got engaged, then married. Then life became comfortable, safe. And the longer she waited, the harder it became. Every year the lie grew heavier. And then just 2 months ago, the father found them. He found Clara. He wanted her back. Or maybe he wanted revenge. Anna didn't know. All she knew was that he sent threats, photos proving he was watching, and warnings that if she ever came near the girl again, something terrible would happen. That's when she showed me the messages she had hidden from me for weeks. Messages she tried to handle alone. Messages that made my blood boil. The man was stalking her, watching our house, following her to work. He knew our schedules. He knew where we lived. And he wanted something she couldn't give him. "I thought if I stayed away he would stop," she said, crying into her hands. "I thought if I kept you out of it, you'd be safe." But lies don't protect people. They destroy them. The next days were chaos, arguments, silence, research. I tried to convince her to call the police, but she refused. She believed the law had failed her once, and it would fail her again. She begged me not to get involved, not to escalate things, but how could I not? A dangerous man was stalking my wife. There was a child out there who was part of her, who was part of our family, even if I had only learned about her days ago, and she was in danger too. I started watching the neighborhood. I installed cameras. I stayed up at night listening for footsteps, car doors, anything unusual. And then one night I saw him. A man standing across the street, half hidden behind a tree, watching our house, not moving, not blinking, just staring. I grabbed my phone to call the police, but the moment I stepped outside, he was gone. Like smoke. The more I tried to protect my wife, the more secrets unraveled. Things she hadn't told me. Things she thought she had buried forever. I learned about the custody threats, the restraining orders that were never enforced, the times he had appeared in her old towns and forced her to move. And worst of all, I discovered that Clara didn't live with him. She lived in a foster home. Anna had believed she was safer there, hidden under a different name. But now he knew even that. I told Anna we needed to get Clara ourselves, bring her home, protect her. But she refused, shaking with fear, telling me I didn't understand what this man was capable of. And then she said something that chilled me more than anything else. He doesn't just want Clara back. He wants you out of the way. For days after that, I couldn't shake her words. The idea that a man I had never met wanted me out of the way crawled under my skin and stayed there, poisoning every quiet moment. I started double-checking the locks every time I walked past the door. I kept my phone charged, kept a knife in the drawer next to my side of the bed. I hated what I was turning into, but fear does that to people. It changes you in small, ugly ways. Anna barely slept. She would jolt awake from nightmares, gasping for breath, clutching the blanket like she expected someone to yank it away. I tried to comfort her, tried to convince her that running wasn't an option anymore. We needed to fight back. But every time I suggested getting help, she shut down. "He always finds me," she whispered one night. "Always." It was on a Tuesday afternoon when everything shifted. I got home early from work because something felt wrong, like a pressure in the air I couldn't explain. When I opened the door, the house was too quiet. No hum of the dishwasher, no soft footsteps upstairs. And then I noticed the photo frame on the hallway table had fallen face down. My stomach tightened as I slowly moved through each room, calling Anna's name. No answer. In the kitchen, I found her phone on the counter, screen cracked, still warm, and next to it, a single slip of paper with a number written on it. No name. Just 10 digits that didn't match anything in her contacts. My hands were shaking as I dialed it. The voice that answered was low, calm, familiar in a way that made me feel sick. I had heard it once. In a recording, Anna tried to delete one of the threats she thought I hadn't seen. "Good," the man said. "You found the number?" I couldn't speak at first. My throat tightened with panic. "Where is my wife?" "She finally did something smart," he said. "She came to meet me. Alone." My heart slammed against my ribs. I told him if he touched her, I would... He cut me off. "Relax. I don't want her dead. I want my daughter. Tell Anna to bring her to me tomorrow morning, Sycamore Bridge. If she doesn't, you won't see her again." Then he hung up. I rushed out of the house, driving aimlessly through surrounding streets, calling her name like she could somehow hear me. I checked every place she might go, every road leading out of the neighborhood. Nothing. I called the police and gave them the number, the threats, everything. They promised to investigate, but nothing moved fast enough. Every hour that passed made the world feel smaller, tighter, suffocating. It was near midnight when I heard the back door open. I ran downstairs, ready for anything, but when I saw her, all that adrenaline collapsed into despair. Anna looked like she had been dragged through hell, shaking, bruised on her arm, eyes wide and unfocused. She kept mumbling the same thing. "We can't fight him. We can't. We have to do what he says." I tried to get her to sit, to breathe, but she was trembling so hard she nearly fell. She told me he hadn't hurt her. Not this time. He just wanted to show her that he could take her anytime he wanted. Anywhere. No matter who she was with. And then he gave her the same ultimatum he gave me. "Tomorrow," she whispered. "He said I have to bring Clara tomorrow." I reminded her that Clara wasn't with us, that she was still in the foster home, hidden under the new name, but Anna already knew what she was going to do. She said she had to get her, tonight, before anyone else got involved. Before the man changed his mind and came here again, I refused to let her go alone. We got in the car and drove through the night toward the town where Clara lived. The whole drive, Anna stared out the window, hugging herself, whispering that she never wanted this life for her daughter, that she never wanted Clara to know what real fear looked like. When we reached the house, it was almost 4 a.m. The street was quiet. The Foster family's lights were off. Anna was shaking so badly she could barely stand. I told her I'd go to the door, that she could stay in the car, but she grabbed my wrist. No, she whispered. She needs to see me first. She needs to trust me. The house felt peaceful in a cruel sort of way, like the kind of place where nothing bad should ever happen. When the foster mother opened the door, startled and confused, Anna explained only that there was a family emergency and that she needed to take her daughter home immediately. There were questions, concerns, hesitation, but fear makes people convincing, and Anna's desperation was impossible to ignore. 10 minutes later, a small girl with long brown hair stepped into the doorway, rubbing her eyes. Clara. Seeing her in person, it made everything real. She looked so much like Anna had hurt. Mom, she said softly. Anna broke. She fell to her knees, hugging her daughter like she had been drowning for years and finally found air. I turned away, giving them a moment, but my chest tightened at the sound of their muffled sobs. We drove back toward our city before the sun rose, but something didn't feel right. Anna kept checking the rearview mirror. Her breathing got faster, harsher. I looked behind us and saw headlights. A black SUV. No plates. He found us, she whispered. I told her it could be anyone, but I didn't believe my own words. The SUV stayed behind us for miles. Every turn we made, it followed. Every road, every lane change, every stoplight. And then, out of nowhere, it surged forward. It rammed the back of our car so hard, Clara screamed. Anna grabbed the wheel, swerved, and the SUV hit us again. This wasn't a chase. It was an attack.